Sawadee Krap, I'm JP Mestanza. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by pbcphuket.com. Months of protesting by anti-government demonstrators has prompted comments from Prime Minister Prayu, who spoke about the nature of his power, all while protesters plan to hold a major rally this Sunday in Bangkok. While making remarks as the keynote speaker at an event at the Thailand National Defense College, the Prime Minister said he'd be happy to have someone replace him as Premier who is better, and says he's getting tired of using his authority. The Bangkok Post quotes him as saying, "But being in power is not a fun matter. I exercised a lot of power when I was the army chief for 4 years. I'm fed up with using power. I use the power to take care of good people and punish people who do bad things. Only two kinds of exercising power are difficult enough already." He also asked for people to help promote national unity as the protests have continued across the country, especially in the capital, where demonstrators have come out in the thousands, repeating their three demands for the resignation of the Prime Minister, a new constitution, and reforms of the monarchy, a very contentious subject in Thailand. All the while, demonstrators, they announced for a major rally at Democracy Monument this Sunday, with plans to march to an undisclosed location. Several protest leaders were released earlier this week by the courts, although some have reported to local police in Bangkok over separate rallies, including Patsaravali Mind, who reported to Tung Mahamek police station over the October 26 rally near the German embassy. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. An investigation is now underway in Wichita over a female teacher accused of kicking a 5-year-old boy in the face, leaving him bruised and with blurred vision. Wichita police have yet to name the school. They got on the case after the boy's grandmother presented the child at the station yesterday, and the Pavina Foundation for Children and Women, they reported it to the police chief there. She says the incident took place on Tuesday in the boy's Anuban 3 Kindergarten 3 class, in which the teacher allegedly kicked the boy in the face and allowed other kids in the class to hurt him as well, and he suffered bruises over his body and face and now suffered blurry vision. The grandmother says the teacher apologized and admitted to kicking the child in the face, explaining that the boy was being stubborn, although no comment has been made by the teacher since the police report was filed. The teacher allegedly offered 5,000 baht to end the issue, but the grandmother declined, saying that she thought that would be unfair to the boy. Police are calling for a medical examination of the boy and have launched an investigation. Ancient paintings have been found on cave walls at 5 new sites in Phang Nga National Park, according to the Director General of the Fine Arts Department, Pratip Pengtako. The newly discovered cave paintings were found on Ko Talunok, Ko Kao Tao, Ko Kai, Ko Yang Dang, and the Nok Krarian Cave, all in Phang Nga Bay, with officers estimating that the paintings are about 3,000 to 5,000 years old, but experts have been called in to study them further. The new paintings have brought the number of locations of cave paintings in that national park to 11. The first ancient painting found in Phang Nga Bay was discovered by a group of Thai and foreign scholars in 1987 under an archaeological site survey project, and the Fine Arts Department has continuously investigated new discoveries since 2014. We'll be back with Phuket Extra after this.
Join the Race of Legends Laguna Phuket Triathlon on Sunday, 22nd November. Test yourself across the amazing swim, bike, run courses around Laguna Phuket, now including a sprint distance triathlon and the first-time Laguna Phuket Duathlon race.
Welcome back to Phuket Extra. Thais consume double the daily amount of sodium recommended by doctors, according to the World Health Organization, and the Thai government is looking to cut their population's salt intake by 30% in the next 5 years. A campaign has now been launched by the Public Health Ministry to curb the excess salt consumption that causes many chronic diseases among Thai nationals. According to the Department of Disease Control, the CDC, the salty food causes many deaths and chronic suffering from non-communicable diseases, including hypertension and kidney failure. A target of reducing Thai nationals' sodium intake by 30% by 2025 is now underway, although critics say it would be difficult given that so many meals sold at eateries and stalls around the country cook with generous portions of sodium, not to mention the condiments. Sodium, A survey done last year of 2,400 people has shown that on average, Thais consume 3,640 milligrams of salt, or 1.8 teaspoons per day, which is well above the WHO's maximum recommended amount. The survey also shows that people in the South eat the most amount of salt, about 4,100 milligrams per day. Want to buy an airplane? Beleaguered airline THAI Airways is putting up a whole fleet of them up for sale, 34 planes. Buyers have to get in touch with the airline by November 13th, according to reports. That's the deadline they've set, and it comes as THAI Airways continues to deal with the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic. They're bankrupt and are 332 billion baht in debt. They've tried selling deep-fried donuts at their outlets, which have actually become quite popular, and are also renting time on their flight simulators, along with one-off specialty flights like the flyover of 99 sacred sites later this month. On its website, the airline listed several of their aircraft up for sale, including 10 Boeing 747-400s, 6 Airbus A340-600s, and many more. A retired Thai national who recently returned from abroad, he's the kingdom's first COVID-19 death in 49 days. The 66-year-old retired Thai official had arrived from the UK on October 19th, tested positive the next day as well. Officials say he died on November 5, yesterday. He also had diabetes and high blood pressure. He's the first COVID-related death in Thailand since September 18th, when a Thai interpreter who had arrived from his post in Saudi Arabia, he succumbed to the disease. Meanwhile, the French woman who was found infected with COVID-19 in Koh Samui, she's now been discharged from the local hospital there after recovering from the disease. The 57-year-old woman arrived with her family to Bangkok from Paris on September 30th. They completed the 14-day quarantine and left for Samui, where they have a home, and that's where she was admitted to the hospital on October 23. Health officials tested other members of her family, and people who had been in contact with her, their tests showed negative. The total number of cases has now risen to 3,818 after 8 new cases today, all of them recent arrivals from abroad. 95% of total cases have recovered, and the death toll is now 60. And that's it for Phuket Extra today, brought to you by PVCPhuket.com. For safe, secure, and soundproof windows, visit PVCPhuket.com. We'll be back on Monday with all the news you missed over the weekend. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
คุณมองเห็นอะไรไหมครับถ้ามองไม่เห็นเดี๋ยวเราจะย้อนภาพให้ดูทีละมุมถ้ามองจากรถที่อยู่ด้านหน้าคุณจะเห็นชายขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์ตามมาด้วยความเร็วปกติถ้ามองจากคนที่นั่งอยู่ข้างทางคุณจะเห็นชายขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์ผ่านไปด้วยความเร็วปกติแต่ถ้ามองจากคนที่ขับรถตามหลังมอเตอร์ไซค์คันนี้มันติดไม่มีไฟท้ายก็เหมือนไม่มีคุณอยู่บนถนนตรวจสอบไฟท้ายให้ใช้งานได้อยู่เสมอ